All right, y'all. Are you guys ready to go on this second workout hike? It's not a hike. It's a walk. I lied. It is actually raining. And we are doing day 3 of 75 hard. And so what better way than to take you on the walk with me and do a little podcast like I committed to. I added this podcast to every day I do 75 hard. So for those of you that follow me on social media, I'm creating a little video right now on my story to promote this podcast because podcasting needs reach, needs promotion. And here we go. I'm going to stop this video. You guys can listen to this on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube podcasts. And I appreciate you guys if you would leave a star, a review on how you are liking these episodes so far. All right, let's get into it. January 3rd. How are you guys feeling so far? Third day into this new year, and I gotta be honest, I hope I'm not too loud, but there's also rain that is going onto this mic, and I am not, hold on one second, I'm not wanting to ruin my equipment, so, and I want you guys to hear. I have a Garmin watch. Oh no, we're not doing bike. I do want to start biking and get a bike, but it is pricey. So gotta have the money for that. I use the Garmin watch for running and walking mainly. And it is more like a visual, clock watch versus my Whoop band where you cannot really view the clock or your strain, your activity, your miles if you don't have your phone on you. So that's the difference between the Whoop band and the Garmin watch for working out. And so, just a little bit of background on the tools that I use for working out. And I do have to say, I'm going to go on a rant, that my Whoop band is something that I wear all the time. I'm a big nerd on knowing how much I've slept, how much I've recovered for the day, and looking at all my vitals. I really like that. I feel like there's so many tools out there, so many different bands that you can use to just monitor, our heart, our sleep, all that good stuff. And if you're not using resources now to keep track of things that's out there, I highly suggest it. It is a reminder and motivating to just see, what it is that you do on a day-to-day, and a reminder for me at least, I'm really bad at sleeping. Going to sleep on time, getting at least 8 hours of sleep is a struggle for me. I am usually in the 5 to 6 hours of sleep. My normal when I'm working in full throttle is 5 hours, sometimes 4, sometimes 3. No, sometimes 4, I would say the least. But yes. So back to my question to you. Day 3 of the new year. How are you guys feeling? Have you did the things that you were going to say to start off? I know a big one for me is planning out. I talked about this in episode 1. Planning out my whole year. What are the important dates every month? What holidays, what trips are you going to be taking? How much money do you need to save for certain things during the year. That way that you're ahead of the game. Do you know what I mean? And sorry if I'm breathing in your ear, but I'm trying to hold the mic. If you could see me right now, I'm like hiding my microphone in my jacket because I don't want the rain to get on the mic, which I kind of see that already has. Oops. I know you guys probably heard that. I just wiped it with my finger. But I was going to say I felt a little bit scattered. Actually, I felt more organized than all the other years of being prepared for the new year. I feel like I'm in alignment, as I spoke about, and but the only thing that I didn't get done is my full planner, which I have to work on that today, and complete the mastermind, podcast mastermind I am hosting on January 5th. Complete that whole workbook and things that I'm going to go over with some of the ladies. Really excited about that. And let me just take a deep breath. Okay, so anyways, let's go on. Moving along through this rain. I woke up today and I did a workout with my friend, Cassie. She is in the making of being a trainer, I feel like. She's a good friend, but also great in the gym. So she's my accountability partner for at least 2 days out of the week. And we did a high rocks workout. High rocks workout it's not weightlifting and it's not cardio. It is strength training and kind of a full body workout. For example, today we did wall ball. What is it? Wall ball throws. I know I'm murdering the title. Not murdering. That sounds really bad. I am not really saying it right, but wall ball throws. So did that and sled pushes, 300-meter run. And what else did we do? Oh, something that took me back to high school. We did a little bit of long jump burpees, right? So if you were a long jumper in high school on the track and field, then you know what I'm talking about. And we ended with a burpee. So, man, doing this podcast walking is harder than I thought. I think it's harder because of the rain. But that was my morning. I had a really hyper night. I don't know why I wasn't tired. Maybe it's because of this gallon of water that I'm drinking every day, but I feel energized day to day. I have been taking it. I took yesterday a little bit more chill because there's a bus right next to me. Oh, okay. There's a bus right next to me. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm using the Rode Wireless 2 mic for this because these mics are actually really good. Wireless, they last long and they store. So unlike some of my other mics that I have that are wireless, they don't store unless you're using your iPhone or camera. But that's a whole nother episode that I have to put out where I compare all my podcast microphones. But going back to the high rocks workout, I really enjoy those workouts because I am not the greatest at heavy weightlifting, but I do like endurance and strength training. And my goal this year is also to work on my form more than anything. In the past, I feel like I focused more on working really hard, like pushing myself. I felt like every workout had to be, it had to be where I was out of breath, I was tired. But I feel like that's not necessary. I feel like if you are working really hard and you are not, you do not have the right form and you're doing it the wrong way, then it's kind of pointless. So I feel like my focus this year is to really focus on my form and how I'm doing things, which I've always made it a point to look at that stuff. But uh, for example, this morning when we were running on the treadmill, I told Cassie, I was like, you know, I really didn't realize that you should be using your core when you run. When you engage your core and you're in alignment with uh, what you're doing, you work certain muscles. You work your stomach versus just like, I don't know, arching your back and running, running on your toes, running flat footed. You can, when you're really engaged, it can be a better workout. So my goal, there's throw up on the street. Gross. my my workouts are to be more intentional. I don't know about you guys, but I'm such a visual, and when I see things, like I could feel things, and I could ew. It's almost like when I looked at that throw up, like ew. Like I think too deep into it, and I shouldn't do that. But I guess I'm just such a creative and visionary. I can just smell, taste, and feel. Okay. Anyways, let's not talk about it because I'm starting to, All right, there's a guy right here that's smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna hold my breath. Ew. Blow out, blow out. I hate cigarette smoke. Oh God. Okay. Sorry about that. What was I gonna say? Uh, cigarette smoke was nasty. All right, let's moving on. I was saying, I can really feel and smell things. And I don't know if that's a part of being an empath and an intuitive. I've realized over the years that I am both an empath and an intuitive, where I have empathy for people. I can put myself in their position and understand how they feel, and I care, and I feel for them. Being an intuitive is sensing that you know something is up. Something is going on. You could feel the energy, but you can't really pinpoint exactly and feel exactly what it is. And I think those two traits of mine, from my understanding, and I'm still working on understanding that side of myself, but I feel like I've progressed into not letting things bother me. And you know what's funny about our zodiac signs? So I'm a Pisces. My birthday is March 1st, 1990. Shout out to all the 90s babies and all the Pisces. But people always used to tell me that Pisces are emotional. They are very sensitive. And I never liked that people would tell me that I'm emotional and I'm sensitive, because I was always, in my mind, I was always thinking that I'm strong. I can handle anything. I don't know. I've always been competitive all my life. I've always wanted to be the best, and I would compete against my sister. We played the same sports and dance. I've always wanted to figure out the best way to do things, and I feel like I'm still that way. But one thing that where was I going with this? One thing that being an intuitive and empath and being a Pisces, they connect. And I never realized it until I thought about it, how I'm a Pisces, and it is true. I'm emotional. I feel things as a empath and intuitive, and it it bothers me, um in work situations, in relationships. A lot of what I feel is that I want to help people and I want to be there for people, but not everybody understands that part and accepts and receives what you want to do for them. And it is something that I've had to let go of with, friends, family, and work. It's like you can't complete everything. You can't complete everything, and you have to designate things to different people. Ooh, we are 14 minutes into our walk. We're at 62.62 in distance, so not quite a mile. When it becomes a mile, I will end this podcast and let you be on your way. But going back to our senses, our zodiac signs, do you guys believe in those energies, those traits about yourself? Have you realized some things about yourself that match your sign? And have you tapped in and worked on maybe enhancing and using those things, or even pushing back a little bit, like me, where I care so much, I feel so much, but I need to take a step back to protect my energy. Those are, a few things that I've noticed about just life in general. But I just wanted to take this time as I'm standing on the corner waiting for this light to thank you for, again, being a part of my journey with 75 Hard and this new year. All right, I have an idea. Let's all take one deep breath, and wherever you are, if you're in your car, if you're walking like me, or if you're in deep stress mode like Lost. I've been there before. I've we're gonna go on another tangent right now, but I've loaded myself up with so many things sometimes that I'm like, why would you do this? I'm gonna give you an example. So my last year of college, I decided to sign up for the LA Marathon. And I was like, yeah, like I have such a vision of how I want things. Like I see things like a movie, and I envisioned myself graduating, having my podcast, running a marathon, doing all the things. And it really took a toll on my body, like school. I think my car broke down that year, and I didn't even run like a half marathon. I didn't even know anything about marathon training. I just was like, I'm gonna just run this marathon, and I paid for it. And that year of 2018, I did not run the marathon because my body was so inflamed, going through this autoimmune disease that really shut down my body. And God is funny. God will do things in your life to move you away from what you think you need. And at that time, I had that picture of myself, like just like the movie, like we see in movies, graduating and doing all the things. And he stopped that real quick, and I've learned to slow down, not move at such a pace that is unnecessary, and just enjoy life and all the things that come with it, even if it's bad, even if it's good. and even if it's whatever. And I do want to bring up a friend of mine. He has a blog on Substack, and it is called Levi Health, Lavie Health. And he is a doctor. He has a practice and he puts out these blogs and podcasts as well. And he was actually a former client of mine, but I appreciated his last article so much because it was all about the longevity, right? So, what good is a long life and doing all the things if you are sick or stressed out and not enjoying what you do? And these are actually some shower thoughts of mine that I have. Every time I'm in the shower, my mind just like thinks of all the things outside of the shower. It's like my thinking place. My two places are my car, my shower, and I would say walking, talking to you guys. But what I wanted to say, okay. So other places, other countries, they live at a pace where it is not so fast paced like New York, California, I don't know what other, cities, Miami. It's different everywhere. And if you guys have experienced Europe, France, European cities, a different pace of life or country, let me know. Let me know what city, what country you've experienced a different pace in life. And I really do want to travel more this year for sure. But I know that I'm on a budget. I'm working on paying off my debt. And that isn't going to be as big as the trips aren't going to be as big as I would want them to be unless I am highly blessed with money. But I plan to travel in 2027 more. That is my goal. And experience just different things out of LA, out of California, different lifestyles, because I feel like it's important to move slower, embrace and take in your surroundings. I don't know. Every time, and this is the reason why I like running. Another thing I do that helps me think, just like in the shower, is running. Running, I get runner's high. I like it because I decompress, and it helps me just think of the possibilities. And I look at nature. I look at these buildings that I'm walking by. I am on a busy street, but there's people around, there's families around, there is coffee shops, there is just an energy and a synergy. Actually, I think I gotta walk back. Oh my God. There's a synergy here, and I think those are the things that we should appreciate in life. Oh, 92. We should appreciate a little more instead of thinking about how to do the next thing. How to be better money wise or materialistic wise. And don't get me wrong, I love my Vori sweat sets, athletic wear. I love a good soft set. I'm all about sets and about making things easier, and I will buy expensive things if I am going to wear that one thing all the time. That's the type of investor I am and buyer. So that's a whole nother topic. But anyways, I'm going to end it here. We are at almost a mile, and we are halfway through the 45-minute workout. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being with me. I hope you guys can hear this okay. And the noise in the background isn't too much. Let me know how you like this episode. I hope I wasn't talking too fast and breathing too hard on you guys. But let me know how you guys are doing on your day 3 of January. I can't believe it. I'm actually really excited to get to 75 episodes. And I feel like I should have some sort of like party because looking back at this is actually something that I've struggled with for the last like decade. I hate to, that's so embarrassing, but like I haven't been able to be consistent like this with the podcast in a really long time. And I'm just so happy and grateful that I'm finally here and I'm making moves boldly and standing in my authority. So I will talk to you guys on the next one. It's a wrap. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.